will crush the evil in you! Dream Crush!
What's going on YouTube? This is Yu-Gi-Oh! Dream Crusher coming in today with this video explaining how DarkWorld works and what you can do to try and stop the deck from going off. As we all know, DarkWorld's involved discarding a lot from their hand. Their artifacts have to activate in the graveyard, so whenever you are trying to disable the deck, so to speak, you're going to want to use things that stop it from going, things that stop it from going to the graveyard, things that stop things from activating the hand. So I've compiled this compilation of cards that can be used to stop set cards, like stop the Grappa, stop the gold from going off. You don't want them to search with snow, because if they search with snow, they're going to search the gate. If they have the gate, they're going to pitch for Grappa. And they're going to blow up a card, they're going to draw a card, they're going to summon a card and bounce and bring back Grappa. Ultimately, infinitely plussing the hell out of you, and you don't want that at all. One thing DarkWorld's very good at is creating advantage, and they do it incredibly well. If they should ever lose advantage, they have Grappas in graveyard. They'll just summon a DarkWorld, bounce it back, get a free 2700 beat stick. You don't want that to happen. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at a few cards that are going out that I'm going to go over today that help disable the deck. Alright, first thing we have is DD Crow. DD Crow is not that good of a card against the deck. It is effective. If you don't have some of the other cards I'm about to mention, use Crow. If you don't have any Crows and you don't have anything I'm saying, let's just go trading for someone, otherwise you're probably not going to be very effective against the deck. So, Crow helps, removes from play the Grappa, removes from play the gold if you need it to, etc., etc. But for the most part, Crow is not quite as effective. Same thing with Debunk. Debunk stops the snow from going off. It will stop, like whenever they discard for snow and the snow effect activates, you can just go, oh, Debunk, remove play snow. Chances are, if they're discarding the card, they've already found some way to plus and get the discard off. So Debunk helps. It stops the Grappa when they go to bounce. Since the effect is a cost to bounce, you just go, oh, Debunk Grappa, remove it from play. Granted, they just use a card in the graveyard to get rid of a card on your set of field, so not that great either. It's just a potential minus. Even though it gets rid of a threat, it's still a minus on your part. You don't really want to use it, but it's still a potential possibility. Something else you can do with Debunk is you can get DarkWorld Lightning. If you notice, this is a counter trap. In other words, if they go, oh, DarkWorld Lightning, shoot your face down, you're just like, well, kind of can't use this now, so let's just put that in the graveyard and let you continue going on with what you're doing. So ultimately, these two cards I don't recommend using if you're going to see a lot of DarkWorld in your community. So, put those off the side. These three kind of go hand in hand. This is a Chainable Trap, aka DarkWorld Dealings, DarkWorld Lightning. It's not going to kill it, which means they won't discard. It stops them from searching with snow. The Grappa won't go off. They can't go off with their Silvas or their beige or their golds, whatever. Won't be going off. They can't get anything else in the graveyard, so this card ultimately shuts them down. Same thing goes for D-Fissure. No monsters in graveyard, which means no effects for DarkWorld. Same thing with this fun character. Granted, the only thing that they can do to get over this is summon a snow, or summon Tour Guide, search for Sengen, run it over after they exceed. Or in this case, we'll search Tour Guide to Tour Guide to go search to sink into like Leviair or Leviathan, whatever, and just poof, goodbye Banisher. So not quite as good, but still just as effective. So I recommend the D-Fissure and the Macro if you're going to deal with those things. Also, Banisher works. Also, if you're a fairy player, this happens to be a light fairy as well. So, just help for your support as well. Or support for your help, whatever you want to say. Kaiku. Kaiku will stop them from using Gate, because it is a cost to remove from play for Gate, so you can discard and then draw a card. Which also means if you have a Typhoon and they activate Gate, they have to remove. You chain Typhoon, shoot the Gate. Not too shabby. Other than that, Kaiku stops them from using Gate. It will remove play the Grappa in the graveyard if you get to shoot and get the hit directly. Otherwise, Kaiku's not going to be doing quite as much. It's kind of the same thing as Agents. It's good, but it's not that good. There's better things against them. So I would suggest doing that. Lastly, probably the most commonly sideboarded card against them is going to be Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. Shadow Imprisoning is a chainable trap, so DarkWorld Lightning won't be hitting it. On top of that, you can still just look at it and be like, oh, your Grappa activates, I'll change Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. Thank you for bouncing your card. It stops the Tour Guide, stops Grappa, stops literally everything in the deck, and will not cause you to remove and play any cards. So, like, say you would have to with Banisher or Macro or Defissure, this just simply negates. So I mean, like, if you're going to be playing the DarkWorld Mirror match, I don't suggest ever playing a DarkWorld D-Links. It just sounds like a bad idea. Side out your Morphing Jar. Like, that's pretty much all I have to say on the matchup right there until we get into side deck talk later. This is all side deck cards for other decks versus DarkWorld. Obviously, some popular card choices would be like Arcor Christia that you can bring out, but the only answer that they're going to have to that is like Book, Darkhole, Mirror Torii, the obvious choices, and then they're going to have Grappa, which they can just discard, destroy the Christia, summon, bounce, put Christia back to the top of the deck, and then bring back out Grappa. So ultimately, that's their monster out to that. But like I said, in the next video I'm going to be talking about ways you can effectively side deck with DarkWorld. Just kind of a preview some of the cards you can sideboard with the Skill Drain, and you can also do it with like Deck Devastation Virus for other decks. So you're really going to be on the lookout for picking up those cards if you intend on playing DarkWorld. And also always remember to go check out StrikeZoneOnline.com. They're always buying and they're always selling on Strikezone. They also always have a buy list. So I'll leave a link in the description box for that. Go check them out. Next video should be up next time next week. My bad, guys. Other than that, this is Yu-Gi-Oh! Dream Crusher signing off. Bring you guys another video on the meta shift next week. See you guys later.